Okay, so let's go ahead and get started today. My name is Estrella, and I am the Special Projects Coordinator with WorkWell NYC. And today we are so excited to bring you a lot of really important information. The name of this webinar is Road to Retirement, and this will serve as a refresher for those of us that have been with the city, and also new information for if you just joined the city on very important matters regarding retirement. So we have an esteemed panel of experts here with us today. From the Department of Aging, we have Toby Abramson, PhD, who's the Director of Geriatric Mental Health Initiatives. And we also have Leon Madramoto, Senior Director of Employment Services and Labor Relations. And from the NYC Employees Retirement System, we also have Frank Brown and Shannon Johnson. And Frank is going to talk to us about NYCERS and how to enroll. We also have joining us from the New York City Office of Labor Relations, the Employee Benefits Program, Misty Smith-Farrell, and Dean Weltman, who's the Executive Counsel. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Before we get into our content, I'm going to tell you a little bit about WorkWell NYC. So we are the City of New York's employee worksite wellness team, and we bring you wellness programming in 5 main bucket areas. If you're familiar, we have Move More, which focuses on physical activity. Eat Well focuses on healthy eating. Take Action on primary care and prevention. Be Well on mental well-being and resilience. And finally, Project Build focuses on health equity matters. So today we're going to be going through first some of the objectives for the session. So after the session, we hope to understand the importance of financial planning for retirement. We hope to obtain tools to plan for the emotional and social aspects of retirement, and then also learn about other resources for retirement support, as well as recognize that retirement readiness is a very personal thing. So just kick us off, we're going to hear from our colleagues at Aging, then we will run through financial planning and retirement resources with NYCERS, the Deferred Compensation Program, and employee health benefits. And then we will walk through the roadmap to retirement, followed by our Q&A. So if you have a question for any of the speakers in particular, please feel free to use the Q&A function to type your question, and we will be able to answer at the end. So first, I want to start with a poll just to get a sense of who we're speaking to today. Are you planning to retire in the next year, 2 to 5 years, 6 to 7 years, or perhaps more than 7 years, or maybe you never want to retire? So give us a little sense of where you're at, and we'll go ahead and end our poll here. Thanks so much for that information. So to kick us off with our content, again, I'm going to reintroduce Dr. Toby A. Abramson, PhD, who is the Director of Geriatric Mental Health Initiatives at New York City Department for the Aging. Thank you so much, Dr. Abramson.
Thank you so much for having me. As we get started, can we go to the next slide, please? So it's important to remember that the concept of retirement is constantly changing, and anybody can expect to spend anywhere from 20 to 40 years in a post-retirement life. That's something that's never happened with previous generations. Well, that said, retirement plays a major role in one's life. So when you think about retirement, most of us think about our finances. Questions like, will we have enough money to live on? How will I be able to travel? What will I be able to do? But we also need to focus on a different part of retirement planning, and that's how do we plan socially and emotionally to approach our retirement, because you may spend many years doing just that. So some of us will continue to work, about a third will have financial security and will say, I'm not working anymore. And a third will be somewhere in between. What does that mean? It means you'll have periods of work and periods of leisure time. So there's not one nut for each of us. Next slide. As you can see, there are different stages. Never think about emotional stages of retirement. So think about these different phases: liberation, reorientation, and reconciliation. As you start to think about your lifestyle, Think about how you envision yourselves in these different phases of retirement, and each one begins slightly differently. Starts with imagining retirement, 6 to 15 years before you actually retire. What do you focus on? What do you fantasize retirement will be like? Um, Many of you on this call are planning within the next year, so we should talk about that third of you. The anticipation is about 5 years before retirement, thinking about that's going to be a great time of our lives. I've put away money. I've figured out how much money I'm going to need. And the team here will tell you about that in a little bit. But about 67% of people envision some kind of working part of their life. Like, who am I going to be if I'm not a teacher, a plumber, an electrician? What am I going to be? Who am I going to be? And some people will anticipate feeling of loss, but it's that liberation phase. It's that retirement day, and then 1 year following that, the last day of work leads to the first day of retirement. There's often euphoria, unless it's a forced retirement, but there's often euphoria associated with this phase. That tends to only last about a year. That first year is, yippee, I'm done with work. We call it the honeymoon phase. I don't need to get up early. I don't need to get dressed. I could do what I want, when I want, but it doesn't last. Then you have to think about how do you reorient your life in that second year after retirement. In the beginning, you're happy, but now what? Oh my gosh, there's a lot of years in this phase. And you have to worry about that feeling of being let down, of not knowing that. So today, I want you to think about how do you prepare for that second year after retirement and then moving forward. Next slide. So as you start to envision that honeymoon phase and think about who I am now, you have to think through because a lot of our identity is really tied to our work lives. So when we leave work, many people struggle with a sense of identity. Who are we if we're not working? If I'm not that person in that role? So you have to think through that. So before retirement, now, start asking yourself these important questions. Start asking yourself, how are you going to help with the planning? Money matters, but it's not all about money. Who am I now? What do I like to do? What's important to me? What relationships do I want to maintain or reestablish? What's going to be my purpose in my life? What's my passion? What have I always wanted to do? Next slide. So I think it's really important that you think about how do you flourish in retirement. This is an acronym developed by a psychologist called PERMA. It helps us to plan. We think about positive emotions. So ask yourself, what do I value? What makes me happy? Where do I want to go with that? Learning how to practice gratitude can be a great way to start to build positive emotions and be that buffer against the negativity that can happen with unplanned fulfilling retirement. Find gratitude in whatever you're doing. For some, it's spirituality, but focus on joy every single day so you can create a gratitude journal of what you're grateful for and build on that. Engagement. It is so important to stay connected. If we've learned nothing else in the field of aging, social isolation and loneliness are very bad for one's health, equal to smoking 16 packs of cigarettes a day, right? Really dangerous for your health. Stay engaged. How do you use your time each day? Is it your current interest? Is it new interest? Is it new talents? Hobbies? What do you want to cultivate? You can't change the number of hours in your day, but you sure can change how you use your time. Humans thrive on being connected, connections of love, intimacy, physical and emotional interactions, and engaging with others. Those social supports, those relationships are buffers when life gets hard, but they're also people to spend and share joy with. So it's the importance of connections with others that has a lot of value for your health and your longevity. So nurture those relationships, develop an active social network. Maybe it's reestablishing with people you had been in touch with before. Really, really important from a mental health perspective is meaning. How do you create passion and purpose? That is essential to thriving. We don't want to just survive in retirement. We want to thrive. So, is it helping others, family, friends, community? Is it trying something new? Is it an encore career? Is it learning new skills? But what will give your life a sense of purpose and meaning and value? What can you accomplish? What will you like to achieve? And maybe the achievement is different than when you were working, but all of us want to feel productive and have that sense of purpose. Without it, you're more likely to tend towards isolation and depression and things that become much bigger. Next slide. So, as I said, many people can anticipate going back to work. For many people, it might be a new career. So, many of us will have multiple careers in our lives that may include education or retraining. Believe it or not, retirement work can improve one's emotional well being and physical health because it can help you to stay connected and socially integrated. Um, think about what new possibilities and opportunities await you. Will they involve a second career? Will it be leisure? Will it be creativity? Will it be gardening, travel, new skills? At New York City Aging, we run a program called Silver Stars, which is a program for people who want to work a little bit for retired city employees who want to return to work. You can work in almost any city agency we have. So you might be a teacher who's retired and is working in the Department for the Aging, or you might work in the Parks Department. It allows you to contribute your skills and knowledge. And this can be an important way to transition into a different part of retirement. So you could always reach out to New York City Aging for more information on how to become a Silver Star. Next slide. So, from work life to new opportunities, how are you going to look at retirement years? How are you going to make your mark? Just because you stop working doesn't mean that you can stop being productive and make a mark. What are you going to do to flourish? Have you started a journal? I tell everybody, Deb and I were just talking about this. Everybody, starting way younger, should create a journal of all the possible things you're interested in you might want to do. When you retire, you might start crossing them out. What was I thinking? I'm never going to learn that language. But it's good to have this wish list of possibilities because in that first honeymoon phase, you might think about things you want to add. But if you don't have that wish list of where you want to go, that second year hits and you become unmotivated and unable to even think about one thing you might want to do. So establish them now. Every time you pass something, oh, I could do that. I was talking to a retiring teacher who said, I want to work in a sports arena. I love watching basketball. I want to be at every basketball game. I'm going to work and help people find their seats. Totally outside of teaching, but that was a passion. And that is something that she said that's on her bucket list to do. Next slide. Really important when you want to flourish in retirement, you have to structure your days. Even if the structure is wake up at 10 o'clock, coffee at 11, call a friend at noon. Maybe not that scripted, but structure your days. Your pre retirement routine now is down pat. Your alarm goes off, you jump in the shower, you have breakfast, you're out the door, you're at your desk, you go home. We're pretty structured. And maybe you'll have a flexible retirement schedule, a calendar that's in pencil and not pen, where you can linger over coffee or a newspaper or taking that walk. But it's really important to have a structure to each and every day. Maybe it's 3 days a week you have a structure and 4 days you don't. That's still structure. Days do not need to be rigid, but having a set wake up time and routine can help. Really important to set small goals. Look at retirement as milestones and give yourself the flexibility to figure it out. Now's the time to experiment. Next slide. So I want you to think about retirement as a gift that you continually reopen. The gift box, reopen it every day. Find something new inside. Trust the magic of new beginnings. There's no need to figure it all out right away, but there is time to figure it out and change your path and change the road that you're going on. So, good luck in your retirement. Please start planning for your social and emotional components now. You will thank me in a year from now or 5 years from now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Abramson. So we're very quickly going to transition into talking about different aspects of retirement, and one of them being our financial ability to retire. So if you are a member of NYCERS or a pension system, please let us know. If you are not, we also want to know. And if you are not sure, just want to make sure I'm being heard. All right, let's continue. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker. Frank Brown is the Deputy Director of the Pension Outreach Programs at NYCERS. Thank you so much for joining us, Frank.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it. I hope everybody can hear me well. So before, you can keep right there, Ashley, for a second. So this presentation is designed to help you understand how NYCERS supports your long-term financial well-being and what tools are available to guide you with your NYCERS membership throughout your city career and beyond. NYCERS serves more than 400,000 active members and retirees, making it one of the largest pension systems in the nation. Our goal is to ensure that members have the information they need to prepare for retirement with confidence. Whether you're earlier in your career or nearing retirement, the decisions you make today have a direct impact on your future benefit. We'll walk through membership fundamentals, service credit, My NYCERS tools, retirement planning resources, and other key milestones that contribute to a secure and well-planned retirement. So NYCERS was established by the New York legislature in 1920 and operates as a cost-sharing multi-employer retirement system. At NYCERS, we support a diverse population of civilian and uniform employees all across New York City. Our core responsibility is to administer defined benefit pension plans, which means your benefit is determined by law and protected by the New York State Constitution. This ensures long-term stability and predictability for every member. NYCERS has been providing retirement security even before Social Security existed, underscoring the system's long-standing commitment to public workers. Our work centers on ensuring that members, retirees, and beneficiaries receive their benefits accurately and in accordance with statutory requirements, while helping each member understand how their pension fits into their overall financial planning. So as we move on to the next slide, your retirement benefit is funded through three key sources: your contributions, your employer's contributions, and the investment earnings generated from the pension fund. Your contributions are based on your salary and the rules of your specific pension plan. Employer contributions support the long-term sustainability of the system, while investment returns generated under the oversight of the city comptroller and guided by NYCERS Board of Trustees further strengthen the fund. The comptroller acts as a custodian of those pension funds, ensuring they are protected and invested responsibly. This structure provides a stable foundation that allows NYCERS to continue paying lifetime guaranteed benefits to our retirees. Understanding how the fund is built helps members appreciate both the security and value of a defined benefit plan. Next slide. So if you're not yet a member of NYCERS, joining the system is one of the most important steps you can take to secure your financial future. Our top 10 reasons to join NYCERS now brochure explains the key advantages, including guaranteed lifetime income, disability protections, and survivor benefits. Enrollment is simple through the new membership application form 103, available at nycers.org. New civilian employees enter Tier 6, Uniform Sanitation and Correction Force members and District Attorney investigators join the 22-year plan and receive a new member packet after enrollment. Once you receive your member number, activating your NYCERS account is essential. This becomes your primary tool for monitoring your account, submitting forms, and accessing digital services. Next slide. Your membership journey begins with the day you join NYCERS, and from that point forward, you begin accruing service credit. Typically, 1 year of credit for each year you are fully paid. Service credit is one of the biggest drivers of your eventual pension benefit. So understanding how it accumulates is critical. Every member should maintain an active NYCERS online account using either the website or the mobile app, which we'll talk about in a few moments, which provides access to benefit estimates, service summaries, and secure document submission. Keeping your beneficiary information up to date ensures your loved ones are protected as well. Another key milestone is the option letter process, which takes approximately 5 months and is essential for planning your retirement timeline. We also encourage members nearing age 55 to review the 5 at 55 checklist, which highlights the 5 documents you should have in place to prepare for retirement effectively. Your membership journey begins the day you join NYCERS, and from that point forward, you begin accruing that service credit. Typically, we can move on to the next slide. Sorry about that. There are several proactive steps members should take throughout their career to maximize their pension benefit. First, consider purchasing any prior New York City or New York State public service through a buyback. Buying back early reduces the cost and increases your future service credit, directly enhancing your pension. Next, ensure that your NYCERS online account is set up and actively used. Brochure number 967 outlines the registration process, and keeping your address and beneficiary records current is essential. As you begin retirement planning, review the Road to Your NYCERS Retirement Fact Sheet number 716 for step-by-step filing instructions. Also take advantage of the planning resources on NYCERS.org, including partner information with Office of Labor Relations, Social Security, and the Department of Aging. Early planning and staying informed are the best ways to ensure a smooth transition into retirement. Next slide. So the online NYCERS account provides members with a secure, convenient way to manage their retirement benefits online. Through both the website and mobile app, members can access their account using the same username and password. The platform also allows you to review service credit, update beneficiaries, file many different types of forms electronically, request estimates, and view important correspondence. The goal is to give members the flexibility to complete key transactions without needing to visit our office. NYCERS empowers you to take an active role in managing your pension and helps ensure the information is accurate and up to date throughout your career. And moving on to the next slide about the mobile app, it extends the full functionality of your online NYCERS account to your smartphone. Almost everyone has one, allowing you to access your account wherever and wherever. Whether you're checking service credit, downloading forms, updating contact information, the app provides secure and easy to use access and experience. Members log in using the same credentials that we mentioned a few moments ago, and creating a seamless connection across both platforms. The app represents a major step forward in making sure pension services are more accessible, reducing paperwork, and helping members stay engaged with their retirement planning. Moving on to the next step. Next slide. NYCERS conducts pension seminars virtually through Zoom to ensure accessibility for members across all city agencies. You can move on to the next slide, Astro. Thank you. So these seminars that we have explain retirement benefits, service credit rules, NYCERS functions, filing timelines, and other essential information. Authorized benefit coordinators may contact NYCERS to schedule seminars tailored to their workforce. Members should contact their agency benefits coordinator. Do not call NYCERS directly for information about upcoming sessions. Additionally, members can visit NYCERS.org to view the citywide pension seminar calendar. These educational sessions are important resources for helping members understand their benefits and confidently planning their retirement paths. Next slide. All right. The pension seminar calendar, again, found on NYCERS.org. It provides a centralized place for members to find upcoming educational events, and it's updated each and every year. Next slide. NYCERS offers several key resources to help members navigate their membership and prepare for retirement. These include the top 10 reasons to join NYCERS now, the 5 at 55 legal checklist, My NYCERS registration guide, and the road to your NYCERS retirement. These tools are designed to empower members with clear, accessible information at every stage of their career. We encourage both members and agency partners to use these resources regularly to support informed decision-making and long-term retirement readiness. And then we'll move on to the last slide. As you continue your retirement planning journey, NYCERS remains available to support you. Members can access their accounts at any time using My NYCERS on our website. Our call center and client services center is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to answer any general and account-specific questions. And with all that said, I will move it back to Astria to continue the event.
Great. Thank you so much, Frank. And again, if there are any questions about NYCERS, please feel free to enter those in the chat. Keep them in mind so they can be answered at the end. So we have some key takeaways. It's important to join the retirement system early in career. You can buy back time. You can use the My NYCERS app, mobile app, and account. And there's a lot of information that will be sent out afterwards and is available on the NYCERS website. So next, we are going to hear about the Deferred Compensation Plan. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dean Weltman, who's the Executive Counsel for the Deferred Compensation Plan at the Office of Labor Relations. Hi, Dean.
Hello. Thank you. Again, Dean Weltman from the Office of Labor Relations, and today I'm going to speak predominantly about the Deferred Compensation Plan and the financial planning program, the financial wellness program that is offered through the Deferred Compensation Plan, and also the greater importance of what financial planning is and how important it is to a successful retirement. So here you can see that we're going to talk about deferred comp, we're going to talk about financial planning, and we'll talk a couple of things when we find out about good practices and about what you should be doing as far as a checklist as you get closer and closer to retirement. Next slide. So, okay. So this is one of the many financial planning seminars that is offered through the Deferred Compensation Plan, Social Security and Medicare. I think there was even a question in the chat that talked about Social Security and Medicare. The Deferred Compensation Plan, as you all know, is a voluntary defined contribution plan available to all city employees. And the advantage of deferred comp is it's more than just a place for retirement. You've heard about the pension system, where you're required to save for retirement and you're going to get this set amount of money when you retire. Deferred comp is a voluntary retirement savings plan that you get to control how much you contribute. But deferred comp is much more than that. Deferred comp is, as we like to call it, and historically, is part of this three-legged stool. And the three-legged stool is the first being your pension, which wonderfully that we are very, very lucky city employees to have. The next would be Social Security. And finally is your own individual savings. And that third part is what deferred comp comes into. So, but beyond just deferred comp and saving for retirement, there's a whole list of financial planning seminars that the deferred comp plan offers. And the first of them is Social Security and Medicare, which actually can answer a great number of your questions about Social Security and when you're going to get close to retirement versus when to take Social Security, when you can start taking it as early as you turn age, I think 62, and then you can take it as late as age 70. And how does that work? And while you're still working, and am I able to take it? And all of these questions can be answered during this seminar, because Social Security, while it seems very straightforward, I get to a certain age, I start getting paid, it is actually quite a complicated thing depending upon your unique situation. And Medicare has those same particular issues. Next slide. So this is what I was talking about with deferred comp, is where, deferred comp is your place where you can voluntarily save for retirement. And deferred comp offers a multitude of different plans that you can contribute with. Hopefully, most of these people on the call are contributing to deferred comp either through the 457 plan or the 401k plan. And so the difference, and you can see it's called pre-tax and Roth. And most of you very much clearly understand, pre-tax is where you're going to contribute and your taxes will be reduced because the money goes directly into a retirement savings account. The Roth, even though it's been around a while, people are still somewhat hesitant about using Roth, because what you're doing is you're paying the taxes up front. And you're saying, why would I do that? Why would the whole point of joining a retirement plan and to save for retirement is so that I don't have to pay taxes on the money right now and I get a tax deduction? Well, the Roth, you are paying the taxes up front. But the benefit is that whatever money that accumulates as far as earnings and interest, when you do take the money out, it's completely New York State, New York City, and federal income tax free. And that's a really big benefit, because you're getting tax free on not only not only on the contributions, which you've already paid, but also now on the earnings. So these are the different plans that deferred comp does offer. And we also even have a nice IRA and a spousal IRA. And we would encourage you to go to the Deferred Comp website to learn about these particular programs. Next slide. So what I was saying is that when we talk about the three-legged stool and when we talk about retiring, we're really talking, pension, you have to contribute, right? It's a mandatory contribution. You contribute. It goes right there. Social Security, another mandatory contribution. They take it out in FICA tax. But doing that third kind of savings, personal savings, is very, very hard for people, right? To create that savings account and to regularly put away money. The deferred compensation plan offers you that ability where it comes right out of your paycheck. And we call that pay yourself first. So you set up this deferral contribution into your 401k 457, and it automatically comes out, and it comes out there, so you don't have to actually actively saying, okay, I have this money in my bank account and I'm going to transfer it into a savings account. It's actually a retirement plan that actually has those payroll contributions, and it does it for you. And again, it's done at tax favored savings, meaning if it's pre-tax, as I said, you get a reduction on your taxes right away. If it's Roth, which I think is for many people is a very good idea, is that yes, you do pay the taxes up front, but it's tax free at the end. Dollar cost averaging is another thing we talk a lot about in retirement savings, is that people are very concerned about investing in the market and concerned, losing money and having money for retirement. Dollar cost averaging when you're working, it's not so important that you're looking at the market all the time, because if the market goes down, you're continuing to contribute. And you know what? You're buying low. So then when the market goes back up, you will benefit that. And when the market's high, you're still buying. That's called dollar cost averaging, meaning you're buying all throughout the investment cycle. A very, very important part of deferred comp is the low cost investment options. Those options, because you're not just saving on your own, you're saving with another 180,000 participants, right? That's how many people are in the deferred compensation plan, and $32 billion of savings aggregated together. We get very, very low cost investment management fees. And finally, the last thing on this slide, investment doesn't have to be difficult, right? You have to don't think, oh, I have to buy bonds, I have to buy stocks, I have to do this. Investing in deferred comp is as simple as choosing a prearranged portfolio that was developed by an investment manager to allow you to invest in deferred comp. Next slide. So here, now we'll take this back. So now we know about deferred comp, and now I want to walk you very quickly through a couple of the different financial planning seminars that are offered through the Deferred Compensation Plan Financial Wellness Center. So we talked about Social Security and Medicare, and that was the first one, and we have a dedicated seminar for that. These are all different components of financial planning. So each component makes up the necessary components that you need to be able not only to be successfully and comfortable while you work through the city, but also to, and especially retirement and insurance planning, to ensure that you're prepared for retirement. One of those is obviously insurance. And so we talk about having the correct amount of insurance. This is a seminar that goes through these particular different topics, having the correct amount of insurance, having, the certain kind of liability protection that you do need in order to not only be, when you're working, when you have children, but also when you get closer to retirement. And that's a seminar that we have and we offer. Next slide. Tax planning. Obviously, this is self-explanatory, but we have a dedicated seminar specifically for this through the Financial Wellness Center. And it goes through the benefits of going into that depth of trying to explain the different programs that we offer, talking about pre-tax and Roth, and explaining the differences and how, based upon your income and your family's income, and whether you should be investing in pre-tax or Roth, and how will that have an impact upon your retirement. Because a lot of people, as you can imagine, all of you have a New York City pension. So when you retire, your income is not going to go down so much. It's not going to be such a dramatic shift. So then once you then get Social Security, and then once you start collecting from your deferred compensation plan, your income may be equal or even greater than what it is now. So then you have to think about your taxes. And that's what a lot of this tax planning is. The other component of, we work for the city of New York, which has the best benefits in the country. We want you to be able to take advantage of them, from flexible spending to dependent care, to transit benefits, to deferred comp, to all of these things. And all of these things have tax implications. And this seminar talks about those tax implications and how you can maximize these particular benefits and take advantage of them. Next slide. Estate planning. So this, obviously this is a very, very important topic and something that is unfortunately very much overlooked. Talking about wills, durable power of attorney, healthcare proxy. These are things that unfortunately a lot of people don't have, but everybody needs them. And this estate planning, it will not create the documents for you, but it will go through the process and explain to you and talk about the importance of these documents and the importance of getting them. The other thing, and I think the gentleman from NYCERS mentioned this about beneficiary designations. I cannot tell you how many times we have seen where, God forbid, a young person with a family passes away and they've never changed their beneficiary designations from their parents. So these things are something that we talk about in this seminar that you keep updated, you look at, and you make sure that they are always current. And that's something that's very important. And we do go over that in all of the different programs that are offered throughout the city. Many of them have all different beneficiary designations that are disconnected from the other. So if you do one, it doesn't change the other. You have to make sure they're all current. Next slide. This is probably our most important, not our most important, but our most popular of our seminars, which is through the Financial Wellness Center, Money and Credit, because it impacts everybody. It teaches, it really does. It's a wonderful fundamental seminar to learn about spending, creating a budget, understanding what an emergency fund is, and also maintaining your credit rating, which is something that some people simply just overlook and don't kind of think about until it's already too late. You want to buy a car, you want to get a mortgage, you want to do all of these things. It requires that you have a good credit rating. And there are very, very simple and not difficult things you do that you can keep that good credit rating. This seminar will go in depth in that and talk about how you can do that. Next slide. And so now we sort of bring it all back and we say, well, deferred comp is part of this, saving for retirement, but it's also the place where you can look for financial planning. And what is financial planning? As we define it here, it's this managing your finances, looking at the long term, and creating this financial plan. And does everybody need a financial plan? It's not just for rich people. Really, that is the misnomer. That is a very, very big mistake that people make, and they just don't deal with these things. We all have retirement issues. We all have investments through our deferred comp, through wherever we have. We all have insurance issues, tax issues, estate planning issues. Financial planning is for everybody. So therefore, we have to, some people just want to push it away and not deal with it. But deferred comp has created these seminars to help you easily understand it. And these seminars are given by certified financial planners of the deferred compensation plan that are not trying to sell you anything. They actually are only working and dedicated for the New York City Deferred Compensation Plan. Next slide. So we've talked all about this, a little bit about financial planning and going through. This is the process that a lot of what these seminars will talk about, and talking about financial planning and what you have to do in order to have a financial plan in place. And it takes a little bit of work of each of the individuals, but the benefits is that you have that safety and financial security in retirement by doing these particular things. Next slide. Okay, so this was more at the end. So we're talking about the financial checklist. As we've talked about what is financial planning, this is sort of a review of what all of these seminars will actually talk about. So obviously, first, we'd all like you to join Deferred Comp if you're not a member. And if you are a member, we would very much suggest you increase your contributions when you get salary increases or something of that nature. You can simply just go on the Deferred Comp website and increase your contribution amount, and then those contributions go there. And all of these other things, from estate documents to, again, beneficiary designations, and to review this on a regular basis. Next slide. So finally, you've gone to all these seminars. You've come to our seminars. You're contributing to Deferred Comp. You're in the pension system. You're getting close to retirement. The best benefit that Deferred Comp offers is something called an individual consultation. This is a one-on-one session that you can have with a certified financial planner professional. This is not somebody who is looking to sell you something. This is not somebody who you walk into a bank and they want to get a commission from you, or they want to, whatever, are going to get some sort of benefit. They are actually, are working through the deferred compensation plan, and they are impartial and unbiased, and they're providing education to you, and they're salaried and they're non-commissioned, and they actually can sit down and they give you 90 minutes of their time to talk about your current financial situation. And then on the way out, you know what? You walk home with a financial plan. The thing is you actually have to do your homework. You're going to have to, make an appointment with them. You're going to have to get all your records together. You're going to have to give them this information, and then they're going to have to create a financial plan with you. And then you're going to have an appointment with them to actually go through it. This is an incredible benefit for New York City employees to be able to take advantage of, who are part of the New York City Deferred Compensation Plan, that can have this one-on-one individual consultation. And I think it's incredibly valuable to those that are getting close to retirement to definitely take advantage of this. After going to these seminars, you go to a couple seminars, and if you have lasting questions or things you don't understand, or just want to see whether I'm in a good place, maybe do I need to work a couple more years? Am I okay? Are things, I'm thinking about buying this house. I'm thinking about doing this, certain things. They can help you and offer this unbiased education to help you make good financial decisions. Next slide. And with that, I would just leave you with these two links, the Deferred Compensation Financial Wellness, and obviously, because we have Social Security and Medicare, we certainly direct you to the Retiree Health Benefits section to learn about that for when you retire. And I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Great. And not to be worried, but those links will be sent out in the wrap-up email later today as well. Thank you so much, Dean.
Of course. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to move on to employee health benefits. Misty Smith-Farrell is the operations manager at the Health Benefits Program, and we are so excited to have you speak with us today. Hi, Misty.
Hi, thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm briefly going to talk about the health benefit eligibility for retiree health insurance, Medicare versus non-Medicare, health plans, Medicare Part B reimbursements, and submission of health benefit application, and supplemental benefits through your union. Next slide. So, most important thing people are concerned with is their health insurance. Am I eligible? Your city's start date determines the number of credited service years needed with the pension system required for which determines your eligibility for health insurance as a New York City retiree. So you may need 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, depending on your pension system, depending on if you belong to the UFT. So please refer to the summary program description booklet for more information and details on that. Next slide. Non-Medicare eligibility versus Medicare eligibility. This primarily refers to members who are under the age of 65 and Medicare enrollments that are age 65 or over. In some cases, you may be eligible for Medicare due to an illness or due to a disability. If that is the case, you would need to contact Social Security to apply for Medicare Part A and Part B. Next slide. So the city offers 11 non-Medicare health plans. So those of you who are currently enrolled in a GHI CBP plan will be transitioned to the NYCE PPO plan automatically effective January 1st, 2026, if you have not elected to enroll into another health plan. And once you retire, your health insurance primarily stays the same, unless you choose to enroll in another health plan. If you become Medicare eligible, you would need to enroll into a Medicare supplemental plan or Medicare HMO plan. With Medicare supplemental plans, Medicare is primary and the health plan is secondary. So you will be looking for doctors who accept Medicare, and then your health plan would pay as the secondary payer. If you're enrolling into a HMO plan, a Medicare HMO plan, you must use the doctors and hospitals within the health plan network. Medicare Part B is for medical coverage. So there is a monthly premium that you pay for, and the city will reimburse you for that. Next slide. So with the Medicare Part B reimbursement, you would need to be enrolled in a health plan through the City of New York. As a retiree, we must have a copy of your Medicare card on file, and you would receive the Medicare reimbursement the following year in the spring. Some people pay a higher premium for Medicare, which is IRMA, income-related monthly adjusted amount. If you have a high income and you provide documentation to our office that you're paying IRMA, you would receive the additional reimbursement once we receive your documents for IRMA. And those payments are issued in the fall of the following year. Next slide. So to enroll in benefits as a retiree, again, you have to meet the eligibility service year requirements. We must have a copy of your health benefits application, and you submit your application to our office through the LEAP file, through fax, or by mailing it to our office. Next slide. And supplemental benefits. So supplemental benefits will consist of dental, prescription, optical benefits. You would need to contact your union welfare fund to see if they will continue these benefits in retirement for you. Next slide. Resources. Please visit the Office of Labor Relations website for additional information. We have health benefit videos. We have the summary program description booklet where you can find information about all of the health plans, the rate chart. In some health plans, there is a monthly premium that you will be responsible for if you choose a health plan with a premium. We have our health benefit applications. We have the Medicare form for reimbursement and a source of other helpful information and resources available. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. And then to give us our roadmap, I am pleased to welcome Leon Mandromoto, who's the Senior Director of Employment Services and Labor Relations at the New York City Department for the Aging. Hi, Leon.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So today's online seminar was filled with valuable information and resources. The next 2 slides are an agency roadmap with retirement procedures which will help you to navigate through the retirement process. The first and most important step is to schedule a consultation with your retirement coordinator, at least 6 months prior to your planned retirement date. At your consultation, you should know your retirement status, and you can access this information by accessing your NYCERS account or contacting the NYCERS Customer Service Center and schedule an appointment. There are a few considerations when meeting with your retirement coordinator, and that is to determine your last day work at the agency and what is your planned effective retirement date. An effective retirement date may be different from your last day work, and that depends on a few factors. Are you a non-managerial employee or managerial employee? And that is, non-managerial employees are eligible to be paid out their annual leave and terminal leave if eligible. And managers receive a managerial lump sum payment on applicable leave balances, which is processed through the Comptroller's office. It is recommended that employees consult with your timekeeping unit to calculate your leave balances, and upon consultation with your timekeeping unit, a pay information letter will be issued to you, which will include the last day work, the last day paid, and your effective retirement date. This letter is helpful for NYCERS when filing for your retirement. Your NYCERS application should be processed at least 30 to 90 days prior to your retirement date, and this can be done through your NYCERS account as well. Next slide, please. Upon successful completion of filing for your retirement with NYCERS, the next step is completing your retiree health benefit application. And this retiree health benefit application must be submitted to the retirement coordinator at your agency to continue health coverage into retirement. The retirement coordinator will submit and validate the health benefit application to the Office of Labor Relations. And one important note here is retirees who are 65 years of age and older are required to apply for Medicare Part A and Part B with the Social Security Administration Office. A copy of your Medicare card Part A and Part B must be submitted with your health benefit application to keep your insurance active. This also applies to the dependents listed on the retiree's health benefit application. The New York City Department for the Aging offers a free health insurance information counseling and assistance program called HICAP, which conducts Medicare consultations. So we'll post this information in the chat should you need more information about Medicare. When NYCERS have confirmed your retirement, please print a copy of your NYCERS receipt, which will indicate your effective retirement date. Please keep this receipt handy, as it will be helpful when applying for retirement benefits with the union, deferred compensation, and other retirement benefits. And lastly, please contact your union and welfare fund retirement for benefits entitlement. The union also have consultations available, and also your retiree health benefit application and insurance cards as well. And that will be it for your retirement procedure at the agency, but please consult with your retirement coordinator at your agency for guidance if you have any questions as well. And good luck and best in planning in your retirement. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Leon. Again, this will all be sent out after today's session, and so you will have access to it directly. Very quickly, we're going to speed run some questions. So if any of the panelists are able to step in, please help us out. Someone asked, when should I notify HR of intention to retire? Any of our
I can answer that. We recommend you contact your HR unit at least 30 to 60 days prior to your planned retirement separation date from the agency. But the earlier the better. Consult with your timekeeping unit as well if you have leave balances so you could plan your retirement date.
Great. Someone else asked, can I participate in more than one type of plan? That might be a question many people have. So besides NYCERS, besides deferred comp.
You can only participate in one pension plan, but you can contribute in a pension plan and the deferred compensation plan. You can certainly do both of those. And in the deferred compensation plan, you can contribute in the 457 and in the 401k plan.
Great. Thanks for that, Dean. So there was also another question. If you're a seasonal worker, can you collect pension and still work for the city? So how does seasonal work play in?
So regardless if you're seasonal or any kind of classification, you can collect a pension benefit from NYCERS and still go back to work, whether it's in private or city service. You can do both. And there are some limitations applied, some earning limitations applied based on where you're working.
Great, thank you. And then we'll ask one more. How do I determine if my differentials are considered pensional?
I'm sorry, Esther, can you repeat that one more time?
Yes. How do I determine if my differentials are considered pensional?
It's not just differentials, it's any type of pay in terms of NYCERS calculations that is handled with whether you're a union employee, managerial, you're not represented. Those are contracts with the city of New York. They determine which monies are deemed pensionable. If it's pensionable, then it counts towards your retirement calculation. If it's not pensionable, then it's just earnings that you receive. It does not factor into your final average salary. But who deems it pensionable is the employers for the city of New York, unions, and those contracts that are settled with the city of New York. So it's all encompassing, and that's all. If you want to start off by finding out what's pensionable, you can start off with your payroll department or human resources. They should be able to start you off on that path.
Great. Well, thank you so much. We are out of time for questions today, but the rest of the questions will be compiled for our speakers, and we will do our best to get answers to your questions. All of the information provided today will be sent out. If you don't mind, give us a little yes if you feel that participating in this program increased your knowledge today. We really appreciate all of this great information, whether you've just started with the city or you're getting ready to retire next year. It's really great to have all of this accessible to our workforce. Great. So, and then lastly, I'm going to tell you about some upcoming events with Workwell. So December 15th is when the Magic of Gratitude Challenge starts. It's a 5-day gratitude challenge. You can share your reflections and connect with your colleagues on the virtual gratitude wall. We are also on December 12th at 12 p.m. having a 30-minute interactive session called Gratitude, Reflect, and Share. And it's a virtual forum that we hope to see you at as well. Great. So this is our contact page. We really appreciate all of the speakers and all of you for joining us today. Again, if you submitted your questions, we will take a look at them and be sure to follow up with any of the answers. But also please feel free to contact NYCERS, DCP separately for more specific questions about your scenario. So that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us once again, and have a wonderful day. Thanks all.